My guest today didn't wait. While still in college, he launched an exotic car brokerage. What makes his story interesting isn't just the cars, it's what he decided to build around them. He's turned business into a platform for impact, raising over 150,000 for underprivileged and special needs children and creating experiences that genuinely change lives.
Always been big into cars. Somebody that I knew messaged me a picture of a car with the lease deal or the lease incentive for the car during COVID. And it was insanely aggressive because these companies, they had cars sitting on their lots and they couldn't get rid of them. And he was like, hey, if you sell this car, I'll give you a check for X amount. I posted on my Instagram story and within 30 minutes I had a buyer. Within 3 days I had a check for more than I made ever working before. So you're one conversation away from starting something insane.
As an entrepreneur with a global team, one of my biggest challenges was managing international payments. I was stuck with high fees, slow transfers, and endless complications. Whether it was paying my team in the Philippines or buying products from Japan, I tried multiple banks and services like PayPal, but nothing seemed to work. Then I found Wise. The savings have been huge, and transfers that used to take days now happen in hours. It's fast, simple, and has become a vital part of my business strategy. If you're not using Wise for international payments, you're missing out on a game changer. Click on the link in the description to get started with Wise today. If you've ever caught yourself thinking, I'll start when I'm ready, when I know more, when I have more information, when people take me seriously, then this conversation is for you. So many people sit on ideas and opportunities because they're waiting for the right moment and waiting to feel prepared. And in that waiting, something quietly slips away. Momentum. My guest today didn't wait. While still in college, he launched an exotic car brokerage. But what makes his story interesting isn't just the cars, it's what he decided to build around them. He's turned business into a platform for impact, raising over 150,000 for underprivileged and special needs children and creating experiences that genuinely change lives. At just 22, he's already brokering multi-million-dollar deals, learning the inner workings of a global company with thousands of employees and carrying a family legacy shaped by both failure and resilience. But this episode isn't really about age or titles. It's about having the courage to step forward before you feel fully ready and choosing purpose early instead of waiting for someday. I'm Linda Vo, and this is Inspired by Success. So without further ado, let's welcome to the show, JC Carr.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's so awesome to have you. And we were just talking before about your story, your journey. And, most people your age are still figuring out their first real job because you're so young and you've accomplished so much too. You're running two businesses, or you mentioned before that you're fully focusing on one, and you're preparing to lead a global company. And yeah, you've raised over 150,000 for kids in need. So, when was the moment you realized you didn't have to wait, that you could start building? I mean, we talked about your family business as well, but you've been an entrepreneur at a young age. When did you know when you were ready?
Yeah, so I graduated high school, which in the US is 18. It was actually right during COVID, 2020. Always been big into cars. And I had somebody that I knew messaged me a picture of a car with the lease deal or the lease incentive for the car during COVID. And it was insanely aggressive because these companies, they had cars sitting on their lots and they couldn't get rid of them. And he was like, hey, if you sell this car, I'll give you a check for X amount. I posted on my Instagram story and within 30 minutes I had a buyer. Within 3 days I had a check for more than I made ever working before. I was working at bussing tables. And yeah, that's what started the entire thing. So started with one car 1 week. During COVID, it was about 30 cars. Started my freshman year at the University of Alabama. Went there for about 4 years, and throughout that time grew the business from selling and brokering lease deals to actually managing and running a full concierge business on these exotic cars.
Where did this entrepreneurial spirit come from? Is it like you were taught, or because sometimes people have nothing and they do business out of a need to not want to be poor, or, but tell me your story and your background.
So I don't know. So both my parents started their own businesses. My dad still currently runs his company. My mom sold her company about a couple years back. I think that's probably where the entrepreneur side came from. He did offer, my dad did offer to, if I needed startup costs to start something, he offered that. However, this entire company was ran on Instagram. Like there was no, I wasn't putting in forward any cash towards starting the business. The only thing I was doing was going to car shows, making videos, gaining followers and popularity through that, and posting these cars on my Instagram story, and selling them on behalf of dealerships. Um, there still has been under probably $10,000 in cash that's been dumped into the business. So it's really, yeah, no startup cost, which is pretty insane, but it just shows the power of social media. Um, just on that subject, I know probably 20 people have started businesses just using social media. Even as small as TikTok Shop, you can literally make money for free on TikTok Shop. So it's pretty incredible.
You just were able to spot these opportunities and a need, and then you already have the social media following already, or how did you
No,
orchestrate?
I didn't have the social media following. But I wouldn't say I spotted. I think it kind of fell into my lap. But that did not say that things won't just transpire. Like I said, I had somebody send me a text, "Hey, if you can sell this car, if you know anyone," and that went from one car to probably, if I were to guess, 600 cars in the 4 or 5 years I've been doing it.
That's
Um,
crazy.
so yeah, starting the social media platform, I was just going to car shows, filming all the cars. Just like, I mean, I know it's big, massive in the U.S., but I see videos from China to Australia to all over the world of just different car spotters and different famous YouTubers, famous TikTokers that are just posting cars, but they all started off with 0 followers at one point. So
Do you think it was just like a matter of consistency or something?
it was definitely consistency. Before this was before ChatGPT, but I used to just Google, hey, what are the best times to post? What makes the most sense? What gets the most views? Now you can throw it in ChatGPT. Hey, what time should I be posting this if I live in Miami, Florida? How many seconds should the video be? What song should I be using? And this is free. Like you can go on ChatGPT and it gives you the formulas for free. And what it's doing is it's reading TikTok, it's reading YouTube, it's reading articles, and it's pulling data from thousands, millions of other people that have been doing this, and giving you the formulas to kick off a social media platform.
That's pretty fascinating. And like, is it like, why did you want to, not grow that and focus on your other business with you mentioned
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
World
So there was some internal reasons. I got out pretty good,
Did
but
you sell the business or you just like,
yeah, well, partially. I don't want to get too much into that, but yes, it was smarter to leave at the time. And yeah, the business I'm working for now, my father started it in 1993 when he was my age. Went from 6 employees or 5 employees to about 3,500 today. I've worked here for about 2 years since I graduated college in May of 2024.
and you started working, is it,
Well,
because
I was doing both. So I was doing both at the same time. So that was part of it. Was graduate school, was putting in X amount of hours a week working for my family's business, trying to learn that while also running something else. Um, it wasn't really fair to either side to be doing that, and I ran it till tried doing it for about a year, and it was not. I realized there's probably more value in me sticking with the family business than doing something else. So exited July, and then yeah, I've been working full time since. Um, Hours have not gotten better. I'd say I'm working today more than both companies combined my first week after graduating, but it's been a great experience.
it's just fascinating as you're so young and your family have taught you responsibility at such a young age. You've probably seen a lot of failures and losses, I'm guessing, because, in order for a business to succeed, I mean, there would have been a few failures there and challenges. Can
I mean,
you
I think,
talk
yeah,
about
I think every business fails every single day. So there's always something that we could be doing better. We adopted a Toyota's manufacturing idea, so something called lean manufacturing. And it's the idea of constantly improving, building Hoshin plants, doing Kaizens, doing 8-step problem solvings to constantly look at what you're doing, and thinking about a way to be doing it better. But I didn't do it as much in my business, but the issues were so much smaller. Now we're doing 8 steps on moving a machine 2 feet from one side to the other of the room, and you'll save $700,000 in 20 seconds in steps, and eliminating waste on some random costs. Like it's insane, like how in depth these small incremental changes have been able to help us. When we started doing that, we had 1 person on the team. Now we have 22 people on that team.
Can you go deeper into that? What is this?
Yeah, so it's called so like the department's called continuous improvement. It's Toyota's version of, or I guess it is Toyota's map on how they've been able to be so successful. We partnered with University of Kentucky and Toyota. They've came in and kind of redid our entire business, like every business model. We actually have standards for every single action item that every single one of us does. So if somebody's like, if I get an email from a client, hey, I'm upset because this is taking 3 days and it's supposed to take 1 day. I already have an automated response on my system. This is the standard response for that. Now that helps us with hiring, that helps us with training, but it also allows for just a universal answer so that when a problem arises, there's always a solution for it. That's the standard size of it. We have a process called 8-step problem solvings. So if we're noticing just an ongoing issue that multiple either representatives at the company are having or customers of ours are having, we'll go through a full 8-step problem solving that dives into every aspect of the issue, and then in the end, it does give us the solution. But it helps with not just finding the answer and going on that. It really dives deep into what you're doing that's wrong.
I might look into that, because I think every business could use that. There's always problems going on, but 8 steps is going down layers and layers and layers.
And we went from being a mid 5-figure, 6-figure business to now mid 9-figure business. And that system's been adopted and helped us through that entire way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you initially you said you worked with Toyota as well to help you?
It's Toyota's. It's Toyota's. They wrote it. So they wrote the entire system. Yes.
And you used that.
Yeah. So and we actually partner with them now. So we have people that have either worked there before or currently work there come in and consult with us on our business constantly, or telling us, hey, you should be doing this. They're looking at all our 8 steps or our standard works and trying to dive in on what we're doing that could be done better.
Do you guys do like a standard operating procedures for everything? Like
every single thing. We have a standard work library, and we have a team of 22 people that manage it.
Oh,
every single thing. Yeah. And we're constantly looking at them and saying, hey, we could be doing this better. Hey, we could be doing this better. So that part has made the job 10 times easier. And I know it sounds like it's on a small scale micromanaging, but it allows you to just take a breath. Like I get an email from a client that's upset. I'm in the service department now, but I'll get an email from a client that's upset. And we'll understand the best course of action, the fastest course of action to be able to get that resolved, instead of leaving it up to my own ideas and my own interpretation of the problem.
Wow. So, do you think, are you leveraging AI to help you as well? And
everything. Yes. Yeah.
But do you still need that huge team? It's great for the opportunities. Yeah. That's a lot of people.
But yeah, the team's scheduled to grow the rest of the year. So I wouldn't say we're not leveraging AI for the problem solvings. We're not leveraging it to be writing the standards. Where we are using AI right now is in, like I said, or I don't think I said, we ship out about 1 million pieces a day. We're getting about 50 to 60,000 samples requested a day as well. We're leveraging AI there. So taking the design, digitizing it, putting it on a patch, and then we're sending it out to the client for approval. But it's instant. Before, it was taking us 2 days. But for our business, that's where AI is the strongest. We're also currently teaching it just about our business, so it's constantly learning, and it'll be able to answer questions if a new rep or anyone has.
I love that because you're modernizing, the family business that was handed down, but you're trying to improve it and modernize it and helping it scale. So it's quite incredible. What's something that you've learned inside World Emblem that completely changed how you see business at scale? Because you mentioned, gosh, it's just grown so much, and nine-figure plus businesses. Just you must have a vision. Are you working with currently? Just like you're going to eventually lead it as well, right? So
I think that's the plan. Something I've noticed. So I am working with World Emblem, but I'm also working with about 10 other companies that we're partnered with. We're supporting. Something I would not have expected is big companies still have small company problems, one
like
way or
what?
another.
Like
Something as small as a new rep being unsure on standard operating procedures 6 months in. Like you kind of expect a company at doing that and doing X revenue, being able to have a strong training procedure. But I've worked with companies that have reps that have been there for 2 years and they don't know simple answers, and that just could be a minor gap in training. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things. I wouldn't say our company's like that, but while I've worked here, I've kind of seen it with other companies that we work with.
and you probably get this asked a lot too, but you're the youngest, probably at the table, in the senior table as well. Do
Yeah, I
how do you feel about
was, or
that?
I
And
guess I still am. Yeah.
what do you do day to day with being the youngest and learning so much? How do you hold your ground with all the senior people?
So the best answer to that is respect is earned. So I worked in production for 9 months. That was also why I was able to do Whips Miami and also working at World Emblem. So I do have a part of me has a better understanding of why we're having issues than people that were hired straight into the service role. I worked in 9 months in production, so I understand where issues could arise if they're production related issues. Um, that's part of that speaking from a level of privilege, because we're not going to hire, or we're not going to allow somebody that's moving or that's getting hired for a service role to work in production for 9 months to understand these minor issues. But it has allowed me to sit at the table and say, hey guys, I remember 2 years ago when I was working at this section, and I remember that the issue that we're having here is directly a direct cause of whatever the cause is.
You can see it from the ground up, any issues, and then bring it up. Yeah.
Exactly.
I want to talk about purpose as well, because a lot of entrepreneurs, they build successful companies, or they make a lot of money, but they don't feel fulfilled. And I noticed that the ones that are more fulfilled are the ones that are giving back and have a purpose, and contributing to a great cause as well, or a charity. Can you dive deeper into this, and
Yeah.
what's your purpose, and your why, and like how's it helped you as well?
Yeah. So we started in when Whips Miami started the car company. We started doing small charity events with children's hospitals. So we'd go to the children's hospital if the kid's battling some type of disease. We'd either drive them home or drive them around the hospital. And it kind of started with that, and then it turned into an annual Christmas toy drive. So I'd post on social media. First time I did it, there was like 30 cars. This is the 5th year I did it, and we had a company that does a couple billion a year in revenue partner up half with us and half them. We had about 300 cars there, raised, I don't know the total number. I think it was around 90,000. But last year was easily over 150 just with everything that we did. And we're constantly trying to get more involved. we're also partnered with a charity called MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. We're the head sponsor for that as well. So we're with them, and then we're also with Boys and Girls Club. So yeah.
If a company wants to do something like this, because I've always been thinking about it too, to make an impact, um, where do they start? Like, what made you choose those companies,
It's
or were they already with the company that, like,
no, so Boys and Girls Club I selected. I again, it's who you know, but I met somebody who was on the board of the charity, and they were like, "Hey, you should come look into this." I went to their chapter, did a full tour, met a bunch of people that were part of the charity, met people that were in it 30 years ago, and now have great jobs because of it. And I was like, this is where I think needs the most support right now in my area. And yeah, that was kind of just how it started. Met somebody who was part of it, and then it's like, this is a great charity. Yeah,
and then the ones that you said you've given kids with terminal illnesses rides in your supercars as well. So,
yeah,
is there one moment of those experiences that stayed with you and changed how you see things as well? Because I think
yeah.
that's really beautiful to do that, to help, when you have the ability to impact on a much higher level, to be able to do that. Like, it must be really rewarding. I want to get into that and do that with my business as well. But what are these memories that stay with you? And
So I mean, unfortunately, not all of them are good. In 2020, we did one with a girl who was 7, and she was really sick. We went to her house. We had Broward Sheriff's Office, which is my local police department. They actually flew a helicopter over. We had like 5 exotic cars sitting outside during Christmas, and it was a great event. Like, Santa was there. About a week after, she unfortunately passed away. And yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it shows like how fortunate we all are to be healthy. But yeah, it was insane. Like, it was, yeah.
what are your plans for just, do you want to keep going with the toy drive? I know that I heard another podcast, and they do the same similar thing with toys, and they do a big charity run with toys for the hospitals as well. And they want to keep doing it every year and get bigger and
Oh
bigger
no,
and
we're
bigger.
competing with last year. Like whatever we
Yeah.
did last year, we're tripling next year, and then we're tripling that the next year. I'm hopeful that we keep partnering with companies at the size of the one we did. I thought that was a great idea. Next year, I'd like to partner with 10 more
You just
and
reach
just
out
make
to
it
them and
massive.
ask them, do you just reach
Yeah,
out and say,
I
look,
reached out to 100, and then um, yeah, I mean, it was great.
wow, that's really incredible. Speaking of which, who is like your biggest inspiration? Like, you guys must inspire a lot of people, and all the
Yeah.
kids as well. Who is your biggest inspiration, or are there any mentors that have helped
Am
you?
I am I allowed to say my dad or no?
Of course, and why?
Okay. My dad, I mean, so one, starting the company from basically nothing. He took it over at $30,000. They were going under. They were in the whole 30 grand. And at the time, they were screen printing T-shirts. To now, 30 years later, just a massive operation, shipping out 1 million pieces a day. Um, Multinational. We're in Canada, Dominican Republic, Mexico, US, UK. Um, but he still has time for every single person at the company. He has an open email, an open phone number policy, so anyone can reach him at any time of the day. Weekends, he responds for the most part, unless we're, I don't know, out fishing or driving or something. He won't respond, but he's very responsive, which I think is very rare at a company our size. And when I say our, it's the company I work for, so it's not, but at a company of the size there. And yeah, I mean, I've worked for 5 other companies before coming here. 4 of them were summer internships, so that doesn't really count. But even when we're hosting those kinds of events, he's very open to talking to people, which I think is unique at a company our size.
Wow, What do you think that, the skill set or his mindset that's made him last that, like, 30 years in business is a long time in business, and to
Yeah.
grow it to, what do you think it's the mindset? What makes him last that long and, grow that fast and scale?
Yeah. So I think lifestyle choices. I think that's probably number one for him. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do anything. Hasn't had a cheat meal in 20 years.
So he
That's the
exercises.
first part. Yeah. I mean, he's up at like 3:30 in the morning working out. So yeah, um, yeah. That's a big part. My mom does too. My mom's done like 12 Ironman. So those like swim, bike, run. So very active household. I don't know about myself, but they're very active.
I was going to say, do you
But
have any certain rituals that that help you that you can't live without in order to? You said you work 14-hour days. Sometimes you wake up that early. I don't know
yeah,
how to do that, but geez, do you know? Do you
I enjoy
delegate?
it. Like I think that like I genuinely enjoy it. I enjoy finding problems and fixing them. I think that's why I'm having so much success here. Is it's fun. Like it's enjoyable constantly solving either my problems or other people's problems. Plenty of businesses that I've seen or um, have been just walking through, and they'll have all these issues, and then they're just lying around laying with them. um, their turnover is insane. Their customers aren't happy, they're getting accounts, they're losing accounts. Like we don't do that. Like our turnover is incredible. Like we don't lose people. We don't lose clients either. Like that's not where every single year we're growing. I'd say that's pretty unique for a super specific business like ours. um, Back to the main point on my dad. So besides lifestyle choices, he's constantly reading. So reading 2, 3 books a month, and constantly building, just on what he already knows. So
Are you helping him like leverage it, and I don't know, with social media as well, and help the
no,
company grow? No, no.
no, no, not at all. No, it's way above me, and it's a different business. I don't communicate with him at all. I'm 2 levels below him now, so I report to somebody, and then I have about 12 direct reports under me, and then they have a couple reports. So I'm like kind of right in the middle, but I'm still not to the level where I'd be communicating with them at all. Um, and yeah, on the marketing social media side, not really. We have a team of, I don't even know now. So and they're also in different countries across the U.S. and Canada, and they're doing a great job.
And your dad just keeps them all together and just, like, I'm
Yeah, I
just
mean he
fascinated.
doesn't manage below his team, so he has a team of like 10. Besides
Oh,
that, he does not talk to anyone below him, and that's
wow.
strictly, yeah. I mean, they're running their own show, so he doesn't want to get involved and just undermine them when he's not responsible for their metrics.
Oh, he just has
Yeah,
the 10 that it reports to him. So
he's
I read this somewhere before that, you shouldn't, your direct line reports, it shouldn't be no more than a certain number. And I think 10 was like, that's a good number
yeah, his
there.
his is 12, but there's a couple other companies that are owned by World Emblem. So he has like people over those companies that report to him. So
Mm.
in theory, it's like eight.
Oh, what? Sorry?
And like it's really like 8 people that report directly to him. So like one head of marketing, one, but then he'll have managers for the other businesses that report to him as well.
And then he just gives them the freedom, and then they just report and they have their KPIs. And well, that's really
That's
good.
it.
It's fascinating because, you've got such a big team that do a lot of things. It seems like it's micromanaging, but it's not. And then it keeps the cogs in the wheel going as well.
Yeah.
But on the other side,
It,
he gives them the freedom that his
it's
CEO.
and we report up. So like my team on our excuse me weekly call reports up to me. So they're telling me the story of their numbers. I then take all of that and I take their stories, combine it into one, and report up. Um, by the time it gets to Randy or my dad, it's formulated in a way to make sense that isn't a small one customer service issue. It's our entire team's. And if there's a common theme of an issue, then that'll get brought to his attention. But all these filters of people kind of stop the minor issues, like the one-offs that won't really make sense to invest time and financials into.
So what is like the big dream and the big goals and for the future? What do
I
you
don't
know,
know.
vision?
That's a loaded question. So giving back, I'd love for 20 years from now to have my name over Boys and Girls Club of Fort Lauderdale. Like I think that I know that I met the gentleman who's over it now, and he's like, yeah, I've been a part of this charity for 40 years and doing events with them, planning and doing all this, and obviously there's a financial component to it. But I'm like, that'd be a great dream to have just in life. Of like I did so much for all these kids throughout the years that now, um, that yeah, like and that's definitely a long term goal. For work, I don't know. Like every day changes, and again, a year ago I was doing something completely different. So I'm fortunate to be where I'm at now, but it's constantly changing.
I know I asked this before about like if somebody hasn't done the charity thing, because me, for example, I want to do it, but I'm thinking I'm so limited with my time as well. I know that I've got to delegate more. I've got a team, but
Yeah,
if I was to in I want to make an impact and help a charity that resonates with me. Do I create my own? And then if I create my own, do I have to, hire all the people to do it and then dedicate time for that? Or just, contribute to a really good
yeah.
cause. And then from there, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
So
Any advice on that? Because, as entrepreneurs, we are limited with time. And I don't know how you had passion to plan and help out with these charities. And that's something that I want to do too. So where do you start? Like,
so yeah, I mean, I think the time is relative. If you want to do it, you can do it because everyone has free time. So I think that's, I mean, you could spend an hour. I mean, I live near the beach, but I could spend an hour once a week doing a beach cleanup if I want to do a beach cleanup by myself, right? Um, and I think that's where it starts. I mean, if you wanted to do something, if you really wanted to impact, depends what you care about, but I think that there's different ways to do it. Helping the homeless, take, I don't know, $20 a week or whatever you're comfortable with, and I don't know, go buy a meal and give it out once a week. Beach cleanup, I just said it, but like you could do a lake cleanup or anywhere cleanup, a park, anywhere, and that takes you and time, and that's it. You could go with your friends. If you don't have friends, you can go out, meet people, social media. But I think the hiring thing, you should never hire anybody for a charity. So unless it's a crazy situation, like I hire a Santa every single year whenever we do the toy drive. If anyone's listening to this and is in Fort Lauderdale and wants to be a Santa this year, I got an opening. So, but yeah, I think there's potential everywhere. It just depends what area you want to support.
just start small, just by the sounds of it, and then
Yeah, I mean, I started with the first one was like me and two other cars, so two other people. Yeah,
it's amazing. Is there any key piece of advice that you want to give to our audiences? Anything that I've missed that you want to share?
yeah. I mean, meet everyone, talk to anyone. Like that was going right back off the last your question on um, where to get people to start doing the charity stuff. I mean, I think that directly comes to meeting people, introducing yourself, whether it's at a bar or you're at the airport or you're walking through a park. That's the key. The key to your success is who you know. I mean, everyone says it, and it's like kind of the most obvious thing, but it's true. Like if I didn't meet that one person, I wouldn't be connected to the Boys and Girls Club, and if I didn't get that one text message, I wouldn't have been able to start up social media and car brokerage. So like you're one conversation away from starting something insane.
That's beautiful, very powerful. Where can people find you if they want to connect with you and learn more about you?
Yeah, LinkedIn. So it's just my name, JC, and then CARR.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, JC.
Thank you. Yeah.